This video is for the Perfect Storm book owners as well as for prospective buyers who are interested in these tools who've been following our YouTube channel. I recommend you go for more information to the cosmoeconomics.com page that you see here. You see the link at the top in the URL bar. You can go there and get a more detailed description of what's in the book. I'm going to give a little bit of a description. The book is really broken down into two categories. It has a method for swing trade timing to time daily bars, or how to identify where the daily pivots are going to come over a period of time. I usually look at it a month at a time. We have the various astronomical factors in this book, along with the tides and the frequency on how we make these projections. The second part of the book is the intraday part, where we have our intraday timers and our indicators that are built for Ninja. Our primary tools are the Astro Excel sheet, the Vedic rainbow, which is the colored ribbon on the videos that you see, along with the Cosmodyne indicator and the pH. We also have a software that does intraday aspects, and we explain how to choose what aspects to use in the book, because it's not a scenario where you just use every intraday aspect. There are certain ones to be keyed in on any given day. And then along with that, there are a couple of math chapters which show how to do some price projecting, both price and time projecting, with some mathematical functions. You can see more on that if you go through and read the description on the Cosmoeconomics site. This is the Perfect Storm YouTube channel. Anyone new to the channel, I recommend that you go to the playlist of the Perfect Storm introductory videos. We go through some of the indicators. Here it gives you a little bit of a lowdown on what these indicators look like and do. And then over the last couple of years in the channel, there are many videos that illustrate how to use the indicators, even though the secret sauce behind the indicators is only divulged to the book buyers. You can still watch these videos if you don't own the Perfect Storm material, and you can take advantage of our projected time and price levels that are put out on the YouTube videos. Generally, I'll put that out 2 or 3 times a week. I'll generally put the Astro Excel picture out for the week ahead and then also for the month ahead. And then at various times I'll do a video illustrating how the indicators are performing, and then oftentimes I will review the indicators, especially from what I'm looking at day to day. So you can use these indicators as standalone, or you can use them in tandem with each other. It's a matter of personal preference. We had a chapter in the book called Putting It All Together. Some people like simple, only want to look at one indicator, which is fine. Some people may want to look at all the indicators. So if you're looking at everything, you just want to look at the potential timing and potential trend from the Cosmo or the Astro Excel, and then overlay that with the timing from the rainbow or the pH. So you can look at all the timers. You can look where the timers coincide. I've got many videos where I show say the Vedic rainbow timing, where I show the overlap with the pH or a Cosmo pivot point. So you can really take these tools and you can, use them in an all-inclusive manner, or you can just stick with the one tool or any of the one tools and use those to help your trading. There's no simple single, one push of the button does it all. My preferred method is to walk through the Vedic rainbow chart and set up the timing for the day, and then do some price level calculations, and then I set alerts to look at the market when I get near my highlighted time points for the day, and then based on the pattern in the market, decide at that point whether I want to take the trade or not. This is one of the videos of the Vedic timing. You can see the colored ribbons at the bottom of the chart. We call this the rainbow indicator. And in this video, I do an explanation on how I set it up to align potential pivots for a day's trading. And the way I look at these colored windows, you can grab this video. It's from about 7 months back. You can see the links at the bottom of the page, or just search the title, Vedic Timing Window Explanation. And it shows how I'm using this currently. Now, I've kind of altered my strategy from what was written in the book. We have various setups from the book called the RG4 different the Grex, the Wex. We have various trade setups using this indicator, but I've started using it in a different way, which I explain in this video. And this is what I'm usually putting out on the channel. So for those who have the book and are familiar with the other trades from the book, you know what those are. If you haven't seen this video yet, I strongly recommend you watch this to see how I use the overlap of the white and bright green windows, where book owners know what these are. These are the most important windows in the ribbon indicator. I also recommend that book owners watch this video, Vedic Timing Windows Prime or Scalp Setups. And I explain the difference between a primary setup and a scalp setup. So it's important for any Perfect Storm book owners that haven't seen this video to go ahead and watch this one too, for a little bit of a different feel to kind of fine-tune the indicator. For a period of time, up until about maybe a year ago, I was putting out a swing date forecast with projections for pivot dates and potential highs and lows. And what this was done taking a confluence of the various tools from the book, and I'd mark each date down from each one of the Excel calculators or the Tide program. I would get the dates listed by each of the calculators, and I just put them all between the 1st and 30th or 31st of the month. And then I'd look for the dates where we had confluence, and those would be the more significant dates where we might have had the various astronomical calculations come together with what might be latitude, planetary speed, the tides, various other tools that we had in those sheets. And then I would just lay them out and just mark the dates by hand, and list the dates 1 to 30, and then put an an X in each in a column where that particular date that month was indicated by the astronomical factor. Generally, you would get 4 to 6 dates a month, sometimes more. This particular month I'm showing here from February had quite a few dates. It's a little bit more than normal. And then I have the dates shown there that I was putting this out for. I was using the ES Gold and Bitcoin, I think. You can go back and review these monthly pivot dates and see how well they did. So I would put these forecasts out in advance, then I would come back and recap it the following month to show how well the storm tools did with that, and they generally perform pretty well. Now this is a shot of my file explorer, and I keep all my NinjaTrader data Excel files in this folder, which is just called 1 under my documents folder. So what I have here, what you're looking at, the 2023 is the Excel Moon data. These are the 3 pH data files. You can see a Cosmo data file, and then the various other components that we use for the Vedic rainbow. So I'm giving a little bit away here what that is, but it's very time consuming to compile this data or look all this up for yourself and map it out each day, so I'm not really too worried about giving it away. But these files are what the Ninja program calls to bring the data to plot on the indicator, and this is how we protect the IP on this. We control the data. Ken makes up the data for a year, sends it out at the beginning of each year to all the Perfect Storm owners. So along with the Ninja data files, there's also a set of calculators that comes with the book. These contain the astronomical data that you need for making those daily swing forecasts. The one I'm showing on the screen here is the 1999 to 2025 daily motion calculator. This gives you the speed of each of the planets and some of the asteroids. So the explanation for how to use this is in the book. There are certain things we look for based on planetary speed that gives us one of the calculations. These are calculators which Ken has converted to data files where you don't need to connect to the Swiss ephemeris to get this astronomical data. There are some files that use the Swiss ephemeris. If you are going to use those files, you need to set up your Excel to be able to recognize the Swiss ephemeris file so it can fill in the blanks and put the numbers out in the plot. Most of these are standalone. You don't need to call the Swiss ephemeris, and I think there was only one file left that did, and Ken's converting that to a data file because a lot of people are having trouble getting the Swiss ephemeris files to work in the newer versions of Excel. But the key point here is don't confuse the Excel calculators with the data files to be used with the NinjaTrader indicators, because the files that were made for Ninja are not meant to be opened and looked at. They're not going to help you because they're just a set of raw numbers that's meant to be called up in Ninja to create the color plot. Here's a chart of the Cosmo indicator. So we supply this information for people that don't use Ninja. We have created the Astro Excel file that gives you the Astro Excel output. And when I do the monthly forecast, I'm usually showing that. When I do the weekly forecast, I'm just showing it off my Ninja chart, it's the same thing. It's just a convenience to help people that don't use Ninja. Now I'm showing a chart of the Cosmo, and this is Ken's chart that he made up as an aid for one of our clients. The Cosmo chart plots both ways. It plots the main Cosmo and it also plots the inverted plot. The Cosmo will generally follow one of these lines, and sometimes it'll switch between the lines at the significant pivot points. But this day, yesterday, the Cosmo followed the main trend pretty good. You can see here we had this move down on the black line and we got this rebound back up. You saw the rebound back up in the market right here, continued down. Main trend change here, we went up. We had a push down on the black line. The market corrected off of that point, double bottom, then went back up to the area here where we had the break of the high point and that consolidation on the Cosmo line and the sharp move down. That was the start of the down move in the indicator. Right here we had a little bit of an inversion, and that happens at these points, these highs or lows. If the downtrend continues from here, like when it broke this low here and started down, it showed you at that point it was following the red line until we got to here, and then it inverted back up for the rest of the day. So this gives you a trend indication, and also will give you the key pivot points, and you can use that along with the Astro Excel for trend. And generally the rainbow and the pH is to identify turning points, where the Cosmo and the Astro Excel are for trend and turning points. So that will give a little bit of an overview on the material contained in the book. I didn't really go over too much because a lot of this is shown on the Cosmo Economics site. So I strongly recommend, for a more detailed description of the book and the tools, that you go to the Cosmo Economics site and go through our section describing the perfect storm book there. There's plenty of information here on this page. Go to this link above and you can go and find a more detailed description on these tools that are included in this package.